So I'm a firm believer that we were not put on this planet to live an average life. And in the grand scheme of things with the universe, we're here for a blink of an eye. Like, it doesn't even register on the length of time in the universe, right? And I feel like we should never settle for living a life that isn't maximizing our potential while we're here. It just seems like if we spend any significant portion of our lives just being miserable when there's something that we could do about it, or being average when we could be extraordinary, or anything like that, it's just a waste. It is. And we all have our gifts. You know, we're all given certain things that we do well. Some people are fantastic football players. Some people are really good at talking and communicating. Some people are really good parents. Some people are fantastic teachers. Some people are great engineers. Whatever your gift, some people are fantastic chefs. Whatever your gift is, like, it doesn't necessarily even have to translate to money, right? I mean, of course, we all do have to make a living and pay the bills and keep the lights on, but are you the best teacher that you can be? Are you the best parent that you can be? Are you the best firefighter you can be? Are you the best chef you can be? And there are a lot of angry people in the world, and a lot of people who really despise success. You know, they see someone in a big house or a great car or a beautiful significant other. They're like, oh, that mofo cheated to get to that level, and she's only with him for the money, that whole thing, right? And I feel like a lot of it is self-loathing, where they may not be happy with where they're at in life, and it's just like, if everyone is average, I won't be exposed for being a loser who never tried. And I think that there is a lot of that mentality, very prevalent in the world. I mean, just in a micro and macro sense. Macro, you see that all over the place, whether entertainment, politics, sports, whatever. And micro, I mean, you see that in your own life, in your own personal relationships. And I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with being average. I mean, a lot of people are, but for people who don't want to settle for that life, I mean, there is going to be friction pulling against you, because tying this nominally back to the 2022 Vikings, because this is quasi a football channel still. The Vikings, I mean, if the Vikings' expectations at this point were to be at 8-9 or 9-8 team, just being thoroughly average, no one would bat an eye. And the Vikings like, oh yeah, they're 9-2 now, but they're a 9-8 team, so they could just lose their last 6 and everything could be hunky dory, right? But the fact that the Vikings are 9-2, the fact that they're getting it done, having one of the best starts in franchise history, and that's where everyone is calling them a fraud. I mean, they're frauds. Oh, all these one-score games. Oh, it can't mean that they're good. It can't mean that they have confidence in late-game situations. It can't mean that they're well coached. It's like, oh, they're just lucky. It's just like rolling some dice, flipping a coin, but the Vikings just coming up heads and just avoiding sevens. All right, so I mean, they can't go that far. I mean, I told you. When did I tell you, right? And you also see this a lot with Vikings fans, where it's just like, well, I hope it's not true, but I'm just saying that this team is fraudulent garbage. Don't care. I mean, don't care at all, because obviously, I mean, maybe this year goes pear-shaped and the Vikings don't host at Jerome at the end of the season. But guess what? Expectations for next year are higher. The expectations for the year after that are higher after that. Where, I mean, success does bring more success and expectations. And the fact that the Vikings, I mean, have been one of the more heartbreaking teams in NFL history, but now we got something positive going, and the national media and even some of the fan base are just trying to tear them down. It's ridiculous. And people just don't want to get their hopes up in life. And if they don't do that for themselves, they will actively tear down anyone else who's trying to get a better life for themselves. And you see this all the time. You see parents or sometimes even significant others like, oh, you think you're too good for us? No, like, you can't do that. You can't get that job. You can't get that house. You can't have that life. You can't have that spouse. You can't have anything like that. And I think that's one of the reasons why, either consciously or subconsciously, people stay at bad jobs. It's like, oh, I'm working at this dead-end job that's soul-crushing and I hate it because I have to pay the bills. Or, what else could I be doing, right? Or why am I going to take a step back, perceivably to be a step forward? Like, what if someone is an awesome people person and just loves interacting and loves serving and would be a fantastic a waiter or waitress, right? Find them a high-end spot. But they're still at their soul-crushing office job, where they're sitting in a cubicle. They don't interact with it. Well, the people they interact with are people that actively hate their guts and vice versa. But, I mean, how are you going to leave this high-end corporate job to go be a waiter or waitress? Even though it would make their life so much more fulfilling because they're using their gifts. Just, I don't get it. But it's also one of the reasons why people stay in bad relationships. It's like, I can't do better, or maybe I deserve to be treated like this, or, it's scary, especially this time of year, by the way, man, when people like maybe they stay in bad relationships to get through the holidays. Like, oh, I just don't want to be alone Christmas. Like, what would my family think? What would these people think? Whatever, right? Just people always do seem to settle, and it comes, and it's very similar to the expectations for the Vikings. It's like, oh, we can settle in. Oh, we had a good season. Oh, we won the division. Oh, we made it to the playoffs. Oh, we lost in the playoffs. Oh, that's okay. No, expect more. But as you're rising up, you have to put in the work. You have to have a vision, and there will be setbacks. Yes, I mean, there will be lots of them in life where if you never take an L, like if you're batting 1,000, it just means that you're never playing in games worth playing. Like if things are too easy, everyone would do them. All right, so any type of goal, whether it's professional, you want a new job, whether it's monetary, you want to rack up and stack up a couple dollars, or you want a new relationship, you're going to have to break up and move on, and just not just like significant other relationships, but with friends that are dragging you down, with family that's dragging you down. And I think that's where we're currently at with the Vikings, where it's going to be hard to break free of these expectations of mediocrity, but that's what the Vikings are doing, one game at a time, and they're doing it in the face of all the haters and losers and all the national media jabroni haircuts, and they're doing the face of some of their fan base. And that's what you have to do in your own life. Like, if you want to get to where you belong, you're going to have some friction. There's going to be some pushback, but you just got to keep on going. And that's exactly what the Vikings are doing as well.